Thank you, ladies, for being on time. I always appreciate that. And it's been so long since I've done one of these, but I'm like really excited to um, to be back, to be creating content, new content for my community, and to be inside of this incredible new community that I've built here at PGC. So thank you for popping in, and we are going to get started. Let me just make sure. Okay, good. Recording. Perfect. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop in. Like I said, I don't like to punish the people who are on time for those that come in late. So today, really, the main takeaway for today is getting an idea or clarity on how you're using social media. Um, with every single post that goes up on the Posh Girls Club, every single one, there's intention. There is, let me turn off my phone so I don't have a bunch of, and it never stops going off. um, Having intention and clarity for why you're posting every single post. I mean, everyone that goes up on the Posh Girls Club specifically feed is intended to make my audience feel a certain way. I create every single post, whether it's something that I've curated or whether it's something that I've tweaked or whether it's something that I thought of on my own. Every single post is intentional. Because it's a business page and I'm selling products. And so I want the community that is seeing those products and seeing those posts and connecting them to the product or service. I want them to feel a certain way. So there is intention behind every single post. And if this is something that you are looking for, just drop me a dime and let me know if you are, just so we can make sure you're in the right place, that you're looking to get help with how to create this content, how to create lots of this content, how to do it daily, and still how to like live, because Instagram can be extremely overwhelming, I know. So let us dig in. I'm trying something different today, so we'll see how this goes. So who am I, in case you don't know me, or you just know a little about me? I'm Christian and Carmelo's mommy. Those are my guys. I'm a serial entrepreneur, red wine lover, okay, live by it. Um, a tech nerd. I love just anything sales funnels or anything text, building websites, creating content, developing sales pages, creating strategies that people can use to grow their business. All of it, I'm here for all of it. I've been in this tech space for well over 18 years, right? Since you could get into it. I was a teenager when I started using MySpace and decided that that was where I wanted to sell my first product. And it just scaled from that point. And I started my first company, Posh Life Bling, with absolutely nothing. Let me know if you guys know what Posh Life Bling is. Yes, I've got my mic over here. I probably should pull it a little closer. There we go. Posh Life Bling is the very first company that I started without a single dollar. And people will often be like, okay, how'd you do that? And that's another story that we can tell. But I did. Facts. I didn't have any money to create this business, that business. And I figured out a way to sell a product before I ever had a product. And I took that money, reinvested it, and kept doing it over and over until I was able to buy the product I actually wanted to sell, which were the customized products. It was back then you could only send your phone off to NYC Peach and one other place in Europe. I need to figure out who that was because I always say in one other place in Europe, but that's just how insignificant it was to me because I wasn't, this is early 2000s. Seriously, who's sending their phone off to somebody? No. So I figured out a way to design phones before there were cases. There weren't cases back then. Ended up selling to different celebrities. Paris Hilton was one of my first ones. Khloe Kardashian, Beyonce, Rihanna, like it just got insane. And people wanted to know, and then I was kind of over bling, and people wanted to know how I did it. And so that's how the Posh Girls Club became what it is. And that's my story. You can go back. There's tons of social proof from early, like 2003. I think I was blogging. I was terrible at it back then, but I was still blogging around that time. Well, that's about when I started blogging. Can you imagine like having a blog from like 2003, 2004? When a lot of the housewives, Nene, like put me on to, it was the second year of Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Nene reached out to me, Nene Leakes, and asked me to design her something. From there, like Big Ange and like all the housewives started buying for me, Teresa Giudice and all of them, Gretchen, and all, they just started buying for me. And before you knew it, again, people knew my name. So I started PGC. Within the first maybe 10 months, I had already reached six figures because I had been doing this for so long. So this is just giving you my street cred of, if you don't know me, this is my story. And now I not only work with everyday women just like you, I also work inside of Silicon Valley startups with multi-millions of dollars in revenue. They can pick anyone to work with, and yet they bring me into their corporations to help teach them my social selling methodology. So they see the value in what I've created, and hopefully you'll see the value in what I'm sharing with you as well today. So what are we covering today? Today, one of the main things is what type of content are you using to post daily? Because for me, it's really easy to take for granted the fact that like, it's just a system. It's just something that I've done for so long, since like Instagram existed basically. And so it's not always an easy thing. Like, people are good at what they're good at. Marketing just happened to be a thing that I was good at. But most people, like if you're writing a book, you're a great author. You may not know anything about how to then get your book out to people, but you know how to write it, right? So that's the struggle that I have found with many of my clients. And I would say, and we'll talk numbers, but like, yeah, 99% of them, 99% of them initially have no idea what to post daily when I meet them. Even more of them don't post every single day. And more than that, don't post multiple times a day. And like I said, many of these clients are major entities, multi-million-dollar Silicon Valley startups that are like, it takes them a week to even get the approval on the graphic and the copy, and just, they really just, and it still sounds sales pitchy, right? So these are the things that I help them infuse emotion and heart into their brands, because emotion is what moves your customer. It's what creates that bond between you and your audience. So in everything, in every space, what these companies are learning is that everything is starting on social media first. And without a solid presence, they stand zero chance of staying relevant in the years coming. I just talked to a potential client last night who has an amazing, beautiful salon in Buckhead. She's beautiful. Her salon is beautiful. It's in a beautiful area. And yet I can see how it would become completely irrelevant over time, because she has zero social media presence. And this is where the people, you, me, the consumers, are starting out. So this presents an even more urgent situation for people who run smaller businesses, right? Let me move this, there we go. So people who run smaller businesses who don't have the corporate dollars, you have to have a plan so that you can level the playing field, because that's why I do what I do, because I was that stay-at-home mommy who was in a really bad marriage, really bad situation, and a teenager trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? Because I've married this person who doesn't want to see me win. How can I level the playing field against people whose parents give them money, or they've got more opportunities, right? Or I ruined opportunities by isolating myself. So how could I create a plan, not just for me, but for other women, whatever your situation looks like, that levels the playing field from corporations who, and trust me, after today, y'all are going to be in a much better position because you don't have to go through like 10 people in an approval process to post content. It's insane what these businesses go through. Like I can make 100 graphics in 10 minutes and it takes like 10 days for them to get through one. It's mind blowing. But this is where you get to level the playing field because this is what I teach them. So the presence of social media, your content becomes the mechanism that you can use to share your brand message and attract your ideal client. You will hear me say attract a lot because I never chase customers ever. The branding, the messaging, the content that I put out helps me connect to my customers, to my audience, and to the people who are considering. It's always an attraction method, and that's always what I'm going to share with you. So our audiences may differ, but the process for attracting these customers is exactly the same. So we have different audiences. Yes, the takeaways are the same. What do you need to engage with your audience every single day? What do you need to pull them in? What do you need to build a relationship and a rapport with them? Well, you're going to need different types of content that resonates with them. And if you have been a part of the Posh Girls Club, if you have ever commented or posted on my feed, let me know. Just drop me a diamond or a yes, whichever one. You need stories that help extend your reach, right? Because the stories, I just told you several different stories, and we're already building a relationship. If you've never been here before, you've never had an intimate training with me, and it's been about 9 months since I've done one of these. Everything has been evergreen for a really long time because I've been back and forth from California, from the East Coast to California, and then back to the East Coast in like the last 9 months. So been really busy building this platform out. So I haven't done a lot of lives, okay? But the stories in just these couple of minutes, some very intimate things about me that can give us a place that we resonate with one another. So the stories are very important. And how you tell yours and what parts you're willing to share is totally and completely up to you. You get to decide that. Okay, I know some people get really nervous about the idea of having to share like all their personal life, and you don't. You get to decide what you want to share. Reels for entertainment and reach. Reels can tremendously help your reach. First of all, anything Instagram gives you, use it first. Use it immediately. The second Reels came out, I didn't even have a clue what I was going to do with it, but I made something because I know from my time using Instagram, and every time they pull out another, first of all, they'll take it away if you don't use it. You won't have access to it. And if you wait to use it, then you miss the curve where you can actually be able to be one of the first people that pulls that engagement, because they want to reward the people who use the different offerings that they give. So trust me on that. Test me on it. Don't even trust me. Test me. When they drop something new, try it. Even if it's terrible. My reels are terrible, but they bring thousands and thousands more people because Instagram wants to use it in the algorithm. Okay, so hack it. Even if you're using someone else's reel, it's fine. Okay, so IGTV to teach or deliver value and lead to external platforms like YouTube or your podcast or whatever. IGTV is one that I always use for like the intro content, because I think there's like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. So I use it just to lead people, because if you don't have 10,000 followers, IGTV is your hack. It's your swipe up hack. Okay, so if you have questions on that, write them down. We'll do Q&A shortly at the end of the training, but IGTV is your swipe up hack. Okay, so use it to lead to your sales offers, your lead pages, or to external like YouTube, where you have your longer form videos, or your podcast. And of course, content that your people want to share. This is a key in growth hacking, making content that people want to share. And we're going to touch on that in just a bit. The elements of a highly engaged brand. These are my elements. These are my takeaways and what I've seen be successful for myself, that I started PGC about 3.5 years ago. And before then, I had Posh Life Bling with just about 300,000 followers. Again, just building and testing and doing what felt natural to me and building more of that. Okay. So consistency in your feed. And that doesn't mean like your feed has to be like a grid or perfect, or because if you look at my current Posh Life Bling page, um, you'll see that there's nothing like consistent about the thing. Even PGC, like that was a thing. It's not really a thing anymore. It doesn't have to be. It's really what you want your feed to be, how you want your styling to be, how you want your voice and your message to be, which is the next thing. So the consistency in the feed styling really just is about the purpose of brand recognition. So when people see your graphics, like a lot of people, I taught a couple like a year ago about how using certain colors can help you growth hack. And now I see everyone using like the colors that I used back then. So I had to be a little bit more specific on how you do this, because you don't want someone to confuse your brand with someone else's. You still want your brand to be able to stand out, right? So consistency in feed styling, even however you decide that styling should come together, consistency in the brand voice, where your audience can hear you saying the things that you post. This creates that tribal relationship and connection. So I do this all the time. You guys know I'll be like, yes, or I'm here for it, or drop me some diamonds. Like that's my voice. Or when I'm writing copy, I write it in my captions, in my emails, and everything like I'm talking to you. So it's funny because I have a copywriter for certain things and I still have to go in and tweak it because it doesn't sound like me. And I always, the grammar might not be perfect. Obviously, I can speak. I'm choosing for it to be this specific way because when people read it, I want them to hear. I remember when I used to do lives every day a couple of years ago, one of my girls, she came into the training and she was like, Tori, last night I could hear you in my dream saying, yes, drop me some diamonds in her sleep, which that's tribal. That is getting to the heart and core of someone. And so whatever is authentic to you, build on more of that, because that is what your people will want to hear from you. And then the final part of the highly engaged brand is the call to action. You got to give them something to do. So this is the space where a lot of people miss. It serves a variety of purposes, making presentations powerful tools for convincing and teaching. So what are the next steps? What would you like your community to do next? And that could be, we'll cover some of those ways. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I tend to do that. Have a sip of water here. Okay. So let's talk about these individually. Brand styling is very important for several reasons. Number one, your people should be able to recognize your styling in their feed with ease. And this is the magic of the Instagram algorithm. And I will again say, test this. If you click on a blue graphic that has specific content about credit, let's say, right? Credit repair. That, if you click on it, it's going to show you more graphics that look like that one with the same messaging. Test it. Let me know if you've ever done it. Like, I avoid clicking on certain things on my Instagram Discover because I don't want it to show me more of those things. So if I don't really need to know what it is, I don't click it, because that is how powerful the algorithm is. So brand styling is important because you want your brand, your graphics and images to show up on the Discover feed for your people all the time. Okay. It helps you show up against similar brands too. And this is what I was talking about before, where like a year ago, I was teaching in Instagram for Bosses, my ebook, about how having images similar to other brands, and because Instagram matches the color and the copy. So it's a pretty magical thing. And that's how powerful the algorithm is. So make sure you're using font that's going to stand out. Make sure your color is very specific to you. Don't use the color exact of other brands. because if it's similar, it's going to pop up. But you still, whenever I would see businesses or brands coming out with color palette that's similar, I'll change my hex code. I change my code because I still want my or and my font, because I want people to still be able to know the Posh Girls Club graphics from any other one, even though we're growth hacking one another's algorithms. Yours should still be able to stand out amongst others. And then of course, make sure they are appealing to the eye, because it's Instagram. You always have to think about the share factor, which I'll show you why in a little bit. So Instagram is your new homepage. Most people are finding you on social media first. So think of it as that. Think of it as, how can I make this appealing to make people's eye keep moving forward in my funnel? How can I make them continue to investigate? How can I make them pay attention to my story highlights? Because let me tell you, every single day, I get DMs from people asking about the costs of advertising with PGC. And yet, there is a story highlight that tells you it goes through a, I think I took it off just like recently because we're doing this differently, advertising, but it literally walks you through exactly how to fill out the form so we can take a look at your brand, see if it's a match, give you different, like it's automated. So all they have to do is actually investigate. So you have to make it as simple as possible for people, because there will still be people who won't pay attention, but you want to make sure that you're being intentional with your customer journey and intentional with the branding. Okay. Okay, so brand visuals is the next part. The visuals should always make people think hero's journey. Now, I talk about this process of having a hero in your business, a shero, okay? It is the person who is like, basically, people refer to this as what do they call it? Like your, I can't think of the word right now, avatar. I think of it as a hero's journey, because think of any hero you know, they have this backstory that is like usually painful or tragic. I just gave you one from myself, a painful and very tragic backstory. I've had this journey. So there's been this journey all in between there to get me to a very specific place where the hero triumphs. Whether you are the hero or whether your customer is the hero, your visuals should always, and drop me some diamonds and let me know if that makes sense to you, because I'm happy to explain it a little bit more if you need. And definitely feel free, like I said, to write down your questions, because we can go over those at the end. So as the visuals have your customer thinking about the hero's journey, where am I now? Where do I want to be? The hero's the focus, and their journey is what the customer follows along in your storytelling. So it's very important to have clarity on who the customer is and who they want to be. And they're supposed to want to be like the hero, which is why they continue to follow the journey through the ups and the downs and the struggles and the wins. They're following this story through your content. And then that messaging becomes something that you can repeat with ease. And I'm going to give you some examples on what that looks like, but let's go into that final one, which is brand voice. So in your brand voice, are you attracting your ideal customer, or are you attracting more people in your market? I know that's a big one for people. That's why I put the pro tip about hashtags, because hashtags is one of the places that most people lose you should be in your hashtags. It should describe your customer or describe who they want to be, not necessarily describing your product or service. And that's why so many businesses pop up. I would see people putting like a hashtag in their bio when that became a thing for their industry. So when someone clicks that hashtag, all they're seeing is more people in your industry instead of you. So get real clarity, like spend the time just on that little pro tip on your hashtags. It should be who your customer is, what they do, who they want to be, not the market that you're in, because the market is just going to be more people, more competitors, and that's not what you want to do. Okay. So your voice attracts your ideal customer. Brands can use the same theme of a post or similar wording, but really what's going to set you apart is creating the message from your voice. So you might come across brands and you love the quote that they have, and quotes are great for growth hacking, but they're even better when they're in your own voice versus a very generic voice. Okay. So in every post, the final part of this is this specific section is you want to have a call to action. And I mentioned that that's often missing. People might just put up some copy, they might just put up some emojis, but what if you push the person a little bit forward, thinking about the prompts to get them to comment or agree or even disagree? If people disagree, that's great. That's more MSI, more meaningful social interaction, more conversations that you can have in your feed to create more conversation. Okay. People love to offer their opinions, honey. Okay. So ask them for them. They love to offer their opinions. So I broke these down into equal parts just to wrap that section: identity, voice, messaging, hashtags, relatability with your ideal audience. You will not be for everybody, and that is perfectly fine. You should not be. If you are for everyone, then you're not selling anything. Because people don't trust you. Okay. And then consistency, all equal parts. Okay. You guys still with me? Let's get into planning the content. We've talked about all the content. We talked about what it looks like high level. Now let's dig in a little deeper and talk about planning your content. So you know what the visual journey can mean. How do you get it into motion? So for me, planning is very intentional. Okay, remember when we started, I talked about how I have to, I spend a lot of time planning. I'm very specific about what goes on the feed. And if you scroll through the feed, you can see themes. And I'll show you the result of that shortly. But identifying the offer. So when you're going to sell a specific product, I refer to these as launches, right? So what's the easiest way to describe this without getting off into a tangent on launches? I feel like you can always be launching a product, and you should, because your website is for your repeat customers. They already know you, they know what they want, they're coming back to replace things or to get new things, right? Your sales pages, because I don't really deal in like whole like sales funnels. I believe in the funnel, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, but they're not in the traditional sense. Top of funnel is growth hacking. It's reaching new people every day through content that pulls them in, and they drop into the bucket, and then they start to investigate, and it, the funnel deepens. But a sales offer is something completely different. So let me think, should I go? Okay, here we go. So here's an example of what that looks like. I design content around the offer that I'm putting together. The messaging matches the tone for whatever the product itself is. So for example, if I'm getting ready to do a new product launch, which you can do product launches every single day, and they can run every single day. That consists of a sales page, some graphics for social media, some videos that you can retarget, a Facebook campaign, right? Dates to launch these different initiatives, social proof that goes with it, and a simple sales page with some upsells and tripwires. That's a funnel that you can now run an ad to. Okay, that's what we do in coaching. That's what I teach in a socialite. It's in PGC Launch School. It's essentially how to make these offers. So if you make one once a week and you run an ad to it, those are things that you can monetize ongoing. So that is what I call launches. You can do them once a month. You can do them once a quarter. You can do them once a year, on different scales. And once you have a system for it, you can rinse and repeat that process. So breaking that down a little bit more, if this quarter, we're focused quarter 4 on launching this incredible new Socialite Society community, which is fire. Okay, if that's my goal, what type of content do I need to make for my audiences to get excited about it? It's not selling the product. That doesn't make people excited. That's a personal benefit. That's a benefit to me. What is the benefit to my audience? Why are they going to be excited about me launching the Socialite Society, this new community? They're going to be excited because, for example, this time around, so the last quarter when we launched, we brought in Kyle, the mindset coach. Actually, that was beginning of the year. We brought Kyle in, who is our mindset coach, who is in the community. He does Mindset Mondays for like almost a year now, right? He was my mindset coach, and I knew he'd be like extremely valuable because the places he got me in a year, and I'm already positive AF, like for reals. He's amazing, okay? So that launch included Kyle. This launch includes our business babes, because there are so many women who come into PGC over the last year that are not entrepreneurs and have no desire to be entrepreneurs, and yet they want to be a part of the community. So how am I going to show them that they are a part of this community for this launch? Because now we've got Karen, who is a business coach for like the University of Vancouver, like she's major in Canada. And she's now also got career content on leveling up in your career, how to scale to the next level, how to reinvent yourself, not just resume writing. I'm talking like powerful shit, okay? That can help bring our business babes to the next level. So you don't want to be an entrepreneur? Guess what? We've got career content for you. Or you want to go from being a career babe to just creating a side business, something that can just bring you another stream, especially in these times. We got you, right? So I'm going to need very specific content for that. So on our feed, during that launch, you'll see career babe posts. You'll see things about things that happen in people's offices and workspaces, right? With their coworkers, being their friends, getting them tagging their coworkers and friends who are not following the Posh Girls Club because they're not entrepreneurs. So my content creates the space where they are the focus. And so now they are going to follow too, because we're not just going to have content about, are you following? Does that make sense? The content matches what you're offering, what your offer is. So that might be a full month's worth of content that matches that audience. It's very intentional to bring in new targeted followers to the top of the funnel that then I can retarget, run those retargeting ads, create new audiences that look like them from Facebook. So many people stop at the Instagram. That's just the beginning. That's top of funnel. Now you can retarget. Now you can replicate audiences. It's not just about who you're reaching or who's pulling. And that's why I say I never chase for clients, ever, ever. Okay? So be intentional about your product offers and match them to the types of memes, quotes, and copy so that your audience, as they're coming in, they know that they're for you. And I had a pro tip. Okay, that was a pro tip. That's how you sell with emotion versus scarcity, by the way. Scarcity doesn't work. It's people are way too woke for scarcity. Okay, so you sell with emotion and things that touch people where they are, and you'll win every time. All right, drop me some diamonds if y'all are still awake. Let me know. Okay. All right, let's get deeper into this planning thing and let me know if that makes sense, if you're following, because, and if you're not, yes, if you're not, keep notes and we can answer these questions afterwards. Good, good, good. Okay. Deeper into planning, let's dig in a little bit more. So now you outline your offer for the month. What's the focus? The focus can be many things. Is it a community? Is it a free challenge, an ebook, a t-shirt? this is why so many people find it hard to create content, because there's no plan. And me and my team, we believe in planning. You should see me and Sophia, my assistant. She's amazing. I freaking love her. She's all the way in Greece, and yet we are so organized. Yeah, so it's getting that outlined plan. What is the goal? And this is something you should be asking yourself all the time, all the questions. What is the goal? What do I want from this? What do I want to achieve? Who do I want to help achieve it? How do I help them achieve it? And the more you start to understand these things, you will be making content with ease. Okay. So what is the goal? What's the focus for that month? Think of your product. Drop a product if you got a product, because I might do some examples if we have time at the end of the call, which we should, because I'm on track. Yes, Tori, get through this presentation, girl. Okay. What is it that you want to build? What's the product you want to sell? Because remember, simple selling. The way I was able to sell so many of my case of the month with Posh Life Bling was because I made it simple for people. I would have people saying, Tori, oh my gosh, I love going to your website. I just shop your website. I just go through and just being on the site. But the orders, I was like, pause, buy something. I don't just want you to look through. Yes, it's cute, but I want you to shop. And so I designed the case of the month so that they could have one thing to know and be excited about every month. And that's how I learned this specific technique. I taught myself this, that if I gave them one thing that was affordable enough that they could buy every single month, and these were girls spending $1,000 a pop on phones. So when I changed it to 100 a month on, $100 for one item that they know they can come and get every single month, the sales went through the roof. 400, 500, 600, 700, 1,000 products sold in a month, because now they've got, it's focus. So this is where I learned this concept. This isn't something that I made up. Everything I'm telling you is exactly what I do and what I've done in my businesses. And I've had Posh Life Bling since 2002. And now I sell bling kits because I don't want to do it. I'm not making bling for other people. No. Okay. I'm not doing it. So now I sell the kits and I teach the girls how to do it on their own. So if you've seen the bling box inside of the new community, that club is for my girls who purchased the bling box. So that's how you scale, right? All right, let's get back to it. So what is it that you want to sell? What is a single product that you can offer for Black Friday? What's a single freebie opt-in that you can offer that leads into that product? I don't care what it is you sell. If you sell juice bars or juice bar, is that a thing? No, oat bars. I always think of It Works because I hate It Works and the way they market it. It's terrible. So I helped a lot of girls sell It Works, especially when I first started PGC. But no matter what it is, think about a freebie or an intro product or a bonus, a value product, and what that product is. So now you've got a clear intention and clarity on the content that you're going to need to connect with the right people. So who's the person that needs that product? They have a pain point. There's something that they are missing that your hero already has achieved. So whether it's It Works, they want to have their fruit smoothie every day. They want to, have whatever the little body wrap thing that they put on, but that's not what you're focused on. I hate seeing those pictures. Nobody wants to see those before and after pictures like that. What they want to see is you can connect to their pain points. So think of quotes like, the struggle was real, but I made it through. Because that could be first week of getting used to like this new plan, right? They're still there. They're still there in the phase one. And then where did you get them? Where did the hero take them? All the stuff in between is you don't need to focus on showing that or talking about it. You want to connect with the person where they are and show them where you're taking them. That's what I do on the PGC feed every single day. The quotes show you who you can be from my hero story. And I hope this is resonating. That's why I'm like harping on it. So you show how you relieve where they are, the pain that they're feeling now. You are the source for that feeling. I am the source to help them feel like badasses. I'm the source to show them that, yes, I've been through this muck of BS, of a horrible ex-husband, of a horrible relationship, of loss, of losing so many things because he didn't want me to win. That's the struggle, the muck that I was in. And the hero story is that I didn't stay there. This is what it can be for you too, because I actually did it. Okay, so social proof through lifestyle. Avoid the befores and afters. That's for your website. Like, nobody needs to see the people. Like, if you're doing lashes, nobody wants to see the girls on the tables with their lashes, their eyes taped down. Hashtag knock it off. Okay? Nobody wants to see that. They want to see, what is she doing when she's got her lashes on? Like, there's all these cute graphics of like the little lash pillows and the lash studios and the this and the that in your office space, maybe, if it's really cute and appeals to your ideal customer. But also, where's she going? So when you're talking just graphics, just visual imagery, not quotes, what does she do? Because that's who your customer is. She wants to know what she's doing once she's done. And that's where the niche comes in. Okay. Okay. So product offers, again, what are the customer's pain points? That should always be at the forefront. You should literally, and we've got tons of this type of content the second you get into the Posh Girls Club Socialized Society, because you're going to use the pain points for everything. Everything. One of my clients right now, we talk about it all the time. She'll be like, okay, Tori, so can you take a look at my lead page? And I look at the lead page and I'm like, I don't see no pain points. We talk about this 24/7 for 3 months. Where are the pain points? Write down the pain points. I insist that you become so aware with them, because that is how you create content. Okay, it's at the forefront of everything you do. So whether you're writing emails, sales pages, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, blogs, all of it starts with the pain point, because that's what gets people's attention, the thing that's hurting them. Just think about when you've done it. What brought you to this training today? I talked about some struggles that you had. Just drop one. What's one struggle that you had that brought you here? Because I harped on that struggle, and you came because you want relief from that struggle. See, it's not just about like these heavy things that you might be thinking. It's about something as simple as, I don't know what to post on my feed, and it's a struggle for me. And I can see that you post 4 times a day. I can see you get tons of comments and views and likes and shares. You came for a very specific reason. Okay. So imagery should include images of what your customer wants to do or be versus where they are right now. And avoid imagery that shows them the process. That's where you talk through with copy. Okay. Because if you're showing them, that creates a sense of like hopelessness versus hopefulness. So the process is shared in your social proof or stories of the hero, but in your imagery, you want things that people connect to. And they're like, yes, let me share this with somebody else. Because even though they're not there yet, that's where they imagine themselves. Okay. All right. Now, I wanted to give you a quick example, and I don't like flexing on the internet. I really don't, but I needed to make a point of how important this is. I took a screenshot from my SIM card. When we launched the Breadwinner Clutch a couple months ago, you will notice there was a theme going on, the money quotes, the bags, the Breadwinner Clutch. It was a bossy kind of attitude, like leveled up heavy and not going back. And the quotes, and now you're going to pay attention. Now you're going to pay attention. But I sold just about 800 of those clutches. And that is the result of the intention. I only focused on that clutch on Posh Life Bling and on PGC. Sold it in both places, ran an ad made a sales page, created my graphics for that month that was going to be just around this specific product. And there's the result. So social proof is everything. right? Once you have clarity on your offer and your focus for the month, now let's dig into actually creating the graphics, getting a little bit more in depth. We've been high level and getting a little bit more in depth with each step. So batch creation is how I work. I don't do like all day, every day making graphics because that will burn you out. Trust me, it's not a viable option for content creation, especially. These are things you should be planning in advance. This launch, I planned 2 months in advance. Okay. PGC Launch School actually walks you through everything that I did for this launch. I've got Launch School is also in the Socialite Society for members, just an FYI. But this launch was planned out about 2 months in advance with Launch School, with the content that's in Launch School. Okay, so it helps you curate the images. So I spend about an hour weekly collecting content that is high converting for like similar brands. This is a growth hack, right? Because everyone doesn't make their own memes. A lot of times we do. I mean, I do a lot of times, but sometimes I just find really great memes because of my algorithm. It is set up to show me really great stuff. And so as long as you tag the creator, it's great. But if you're looking for content that converts very well for others, it might not convert as high for you initially, but it's going to help you to improve in the algorithm because you already know it's done well in the algorithm. And one hack there too might be to use some of the hashtags that the people that used it in advance, and that one just came and popped into my head, but using the hashtags there that you saw on the post so that it shows up for the community that they normally serve. It's just a good way to start beefing yourself up, right? Keep a running list of notes of any quotes or feed ideas that you come up with, but only design on design day. So that's 2 days of the week or month. You might spend an hour a week collecting content or an hour a month. Just depends on how much you collect. In my notes on my phone, I have one little section that's called quotes, and I just keep a running, like when quotes pop into my head, just like right in my notes, I just keep a running document of quotes and or one-liners or things or a copy, right, that pops into my head when I'm in a certain mood, like when I have my wine at the end of the night. That's like my creative mode because I feel really sassy and I'm like, yes, okay. And then one other day, whether you're doing this weekly or monthly, another day is graphic day. Okay, so you actually add them into Planoly, move them around. You've designed them, you add them into Planoly, move it, and then move them around. See, by breaking it up, you're not trying to make the graphic, find the graphic, design the graphic, upload the graphic. That's a lot of work, especially with the kinds of schedules that we have these days. So once you have your content in Planoly, there's my Planoly, like you always have something to choose from. So there's always something there that I can just grab and use. So like I said, pro tip, seek the type of posts that you see getting lots of engagement, and don't just simply reuse their message. Like you can save it to tweak it later, but put it in your own styling, put it in your own voice, make it sound like you. That is the difference in how you start to build your own influence. Okay. Now, every single post doesn't need a caption, but you want to include some things for most posts, like a CTA, drop a diamond if you feel me, right? Tag a friend who want to see this, or however you would say tag a friend, tag your girl, where your girl's at, tag your best friend, however you want to phrase it. Comment below with a book or a money bag or a diamond or an exclamation mark. Those are the things that you do to get your audience to create more engagement. But if you never ask them for anything, and you would think a call to action is a really simple plug, but so often people don't include the call to action. Now, once you've called them to action, use the comments that you do receive to create more MSI, meaningful social interaction. So if you receive just one comment, that's 2 comments because now you can reply. Okay, that's the first thing. You can share that comment to your stories. You can include an engagement prompt. And when I say engagement prompt, I mean like the little like swipe button, right? The little do you agree? And then on the next post, you can put, if you don't, drop us a comment on this post and tell us why. So you're encouraging more people because more people will see it in the stories as it goes through the algorithm. And that makes them come back and continue to drop more comments. And every time you get a new comment, send that one to the stories. And then you can resend these like throughout the week. You don't have to just use it that once. Hashtag repurpose with purpose, right? Makes sense? Drop me a diamond, let me know, comment yes, no, if that makes sense. You can include hashtags up to 10 and then just squeeze them down and hide them, which helps you with your reach. And then keep resharing popular content. Instagram shows you what's getting activity. So if you're going into your hearts or your, and really with this new Instagram like layout, I'm still trying to, I'm like, can you stop moving shit, please? Honestly, if you don't stop moving the stuff that I have figured out where everything is, and now you're moving it, I can't get back to my hearts, okay? So if Instagram continuously, so okay, let me go back into my Instagram really quickly because they actually, as soon as now I just have to figure out where it is. Okay, the hearts. Okay, so under activity, Instagram will show you, it'll say, let's see, how many people like this post, right? And it'll keep showing you 2,700 people like this post. 40,000 people like this post. It will continue to show you the most engaged content right in your activity feed. All you got to do is go back to that post, send it back to your stories. Use the algorithm to work for you. You don't always, some days I'm really busy and it's really rare, but there are some days that I'm extremely busy and I just can't get to the post right then. And so I'll send other things in the algorithm and people will start coming right back in, liking, commenting, sharing on that post that's already Instagram has told me is getting lots of engagement. So you just have to pay attention to what Instagram is telling you already as well. Now, some of the types of content you can plan for are celebrity graphics, memes for algorithm hacking. Y'all know why? Because if you click on a picture of Beyonce, you're going to see 1,000 freaking pictures of Beyonce. Ask me how I know. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I love me, but like, I don't want to see her every day, you know, because she's perfect. And I just don't know if I need that kind of pressure every day. Okay. So, but celebrity graphics help you growth hack. So if you can make memes out of celebrity graphics, Fareed can do that. This is one of the ones actually that I used for the breadwinner clutch launch. I actually have one of my own too around here somewhere. But this is one of the graphics I used during that time of the launch. The one with Kim K I used because they convert a lot and they help me reach a lot of audiences. Again, reaching them versus me chasing. And then I can retarget those people. And then I can replicate those people for new audiences. And then I can show them the clutch as many times as I want. If they haven't purchased it, they're going to eventually purchase it, or I will build new audiences that will. Feel me? Okay. Sassy on brand quotes that match the voice of your brand, which is like FOMO. It creates that feeling of, you know, oh, I want to be that girl. I want to be that person. For PGC, you have to do this for your brand because your brand might not be the same. Okay. And then the memes that match like the energy of the product I'm offering. For me, it's community. And so I am always, it's community and it's resources, it's leveling up. It's all 3 of those, but you want to have that like tribal mentality of the vibe that's like, yes, I want to be that girl manifesting love, abundance, wealth, and drinking it every morning, rich bitch juice. Okay, get you some. Okay. Okay. We're almost done. I'm going to wrap shortly. So here's a couple of quick design tips. Number one, identify your theme and your colors in Planoly. So what I do is create a running list of various graphics and styles in a single Canva, like from 1 to like 100. Okay, so choose your templates first. These are just hacks to keep you from like, oh, I got to do this one graphic. Oh, I need a one graphic. Oh, it's a week and I haven't gotten even one graphic. I'm telling you, the startups that I work with, this is an actual thing. Like the struggle is real for them. It's crazy. It just blows my mind. But do that on one of the days. Just put a long list of all of the different graphics that you want to choose from. On another day, change all of the graphics into your own colors and styling, right? So add your logo to them, change the fonts, maybe choose 2 fonts, a standard, a script, and just put all of the branded view, the look together. So now you got the themes, then you have the look together. Now use your list. Take all of those different content pieces that you have and now start to put them into the graphics. That's a whole different day. So if all you're doing is put it into the graphics, putting like the content into the graphics, that's one day, that's nothing. And now you've got all these 50 to 100 designs to choose from. One more pro tip is monthly, go back to that most highly engaged content from your analytics. You go right into your Instagram analytics and say, hey, let me look at my insights. Let me see what content did well. Content I shared. Let's see what did well. Screenshot it, repurpose with purpose, just like it was, or put a new spin on it, change the like the wording, because a lot of people haven't even seen it. Even people that follow you, they might not have seen it. So go back and get everyone, your new people and the people who might have been like, yes, that was good, engaged with your popular content. All right, really quickly, let's go over the 4 types of content that you need for converting. And this is best in video, but you really can use this over and over and over and over in copy and in video as well. Number 1 is the backstory. The purpose of your backstory is basically your hero story. Exactly what I just said, is to let other people know that their dreams can also be realized. So your audience needs to know that you or your customer, your hero, started here, and through your product and or service, they were transformed to this. Number 2 is the problem. And I recognize that I have typos. Sorry. I do that sometimes. I write a lot. Okay. If they get your thing, they won't experience what could have been. So that is worst case scenario. The problem, FOMO, fear of missing out. And y'all know we don't want to miss out. Who, raise your hand if you hate missing out on things. Okay. The 3rd type of content is the process. Social proof. Relate back to the problem. Give clear examples of how you've transformed the hero. So whether this is in the form of screenshotting reviews, screenshotting texts of people sending things to you, emails, and then you can make a pretty graphic that covers it, right? And make a carousel so that you're still in line with your feed and your brand styling, and you can still show the social proof. And then the solution, clearly identify your product benefits, okay? Graphics of like the actual product itself, or like if you're selling courses, graphics in theme with like the computer screen with the outline of the courses, or the different graphics to show all the courses that come with it behind the computer. Like great ways to do that visually, but the goal is to tell the story here, okay? Benefits over features. Your people want to know, how is this benefiting me? The features are for you. That's very self-focused, whereas benefits are things that make your audience perk up, like, oh wow, that's going to feel really great if I can have this, this, and that, versus a feature. Okay, if I can feel this. versus a feature. Oh, and I hope that's clear. Benefits always over features. And how great brands sell from their posts. So interact with followers, respond to their comments, especially the people that post and reply to you daily. Let them know you see them. They need to know you feel them, you're there for them, and you get it. Be relatable. And you'll notice this when people start DMing you nonstop about something you posted and they feel like you're talking directly to them. That is how it should feel. Be relatable and open. Build the emotional connection through behind the scenes content. Do this daily, even if it's one thing. You'll notice videos or pictures or boomerangs of like my boys or my home or whatever it might be that creates that intimacy between my audience. Even though we've never met in person, they feel like they know me. And let me know if that's valid for you as well, right? You know my personality just based on my posts already. So when we talk or I come on and you're in this training, you're like, I knew that was Tori. It's, you got to know how to create that relationship through your posts. And that comes through, like I said, your messaging and the voice. Okay. Highlight your story. In your highlights, make sure you have a journey, not a bunch of products for sale only. You can put your products for sale, but create a visual story that builds the connection first. Because if you lead with the products, people are just not here for it, right? So how do you create that tribal vibe? Create a visual story. So when people come in, they know what you stand for. They know who you are through your highlights, because you can't be there for everybody. You cannot, and you should not want to be. You should create a system that they get to know you from the content that you're putting together. So send popular content to your stories. We talked about that. Instagram will show you what's most popular. Send back into the stories and get more engagement on it. Be intentional with your imagery. It's your new homepage. So make your graphics stand out, make your messaging stand out, be original with your messaging, and make them look good, because people do want to share the content and you want them to share it. And be consistent. So if you make 60 images in your creative time, those are posts that equal twice a day for a month at least. That's not bad to get started. Okay, and if you create twice as much monthly, then you have content for 2 months out, sometimes in just 2 hours time. You can do this. It is not as difficult as it may feel initially when you break it down. So let's do a quick recap. And get ready to ask any questions that you might have, because we'll do some Q&A. I'll give you about 10-15 minutes for Q&A if you have questions. So recap, steps to content building. Number 1, collect images once weekly. Drop them into Canva to put into templates on a different day. So just load your Canva or load your Planoly up with a bunch of images that inspire you or make you think about other things that you want to change into your own wording that fits your ideal customer. Make 60 to 100 templates on a different day. Canva gives you legitimately thousands of templates to choose from. So on one day, and this you only really have to do once, because you can use your templates over and over. Like I've got my rolling list of 100 templates, and I maybe use like 5 of them over and over. I've even had a couple designed where I only use them a couple times. But pick your favorite ones, add them to that row of images, and just name it Instagram templates or post templates or whatever you name it, so that you know feed templates. So you know that's where you click whenever you're ready to go and do number 3. From your list of notes, start adding in your quotes and then just drop them over into Planoly. And now on any given day, you've got all of these different graphics to choose from. Recap, part 2. Keep your customers' pain points at the top of mind. I took a couple screenshots from some of my content. When you know what they lack, you can be the clear solution through your posts, through the things that you take them to, through your delivery. You show them how they're transformed. It's still Instagram, visuals are key. And sharing is caring. This is true in both shareable graphics and you taking the time to nurture those customers you already have that creates MSI and more of it. And so here I just screenshot a couple of like my shares. So in one day, I wish I could have fit a fourth one in there, but in one day, this is 3 graphics. One got 5,300 shares, one 4,700, one 10,371 shares in a day. That's that many more people that my already massive audience is reaching. I'm reaching them. You can see reach 236,000, 212, 173,000, 966, 250,000, 304. That's reach. And then saves. You see, they're saving the content because they love the content. So give them a reason to reach, be reached, save it, and share it. And that's just one day. That's like 20,000 shares from just 3 of the graphics that went out that day. And so I thought it was important to show you that so you can get exactly what that means. So I'd like to take just a quick second here before we hop into Q&A and share my masterpiece with you. I deliver this type of content inside of the Socialite Society ongoing, like for the last 2.5 years, but we have just since leveled up this community in an incredible way. We actually have our own app and our own basically LinkedIn, our own Facebook, where as you can see, you can access inspo, you can access the career content, you can access mindset content from Kyle, you can access my entrepreneur content. And then that's just the free level, because I wanted a place where all of my community could be together. So even if you're just accessing the free content as a beginner, once you get ready, and hopefully that's where you are, like you're ready to level up in your business, you're ready to go to the next stage. And that is where the Socialite Society comes in providing deeper mindset content, that career journey, the customer journey, the entrepreneurship side of business building. And we're doing it from this incredible app where you've got access to all of your community. I mean, global, all over the world. And you can actually see who's online. You can see where they are, if they're nearby you, so that you can build real relationships like in real life. And again, probably even the most, I would say, dually important is having the community, but also having the resources in one place. It is just, we just did a soft launch over the last 2 weeks, and I'm just watching the girls come in one by one by the hour and getting access to this incredible content. There you've got downloads for your wallpapers, for your phones as a member of the Socialite Society, but the content and the courses and the live trainings that are there inside of the group to help you level up. There's Charmaine. She's going to have a section soon. She's been a part of the Socialite Society for quite a while, and now she'll have a section there on fitness. So we're really helping to building a space where our girls can have all the things, all the resources that you need, all the community that you need in just one app, which is pretty exciting, to be able to level up your life, not just business, but your life. That has been my goal for so long. And I am just like beyond excited that we've now got this space. And so just so that you know, here's some of myself, who is the founder and CEO of the Posh Girls Club and creator of the Socialite Society. It's like our own sorority of sorts, our global sorority, where it's people that have a shared mission and a shared goal of success, of ambition, of drive, and being supported inside of a community like no other community. I am just mind blown at what it has already become. And like I said, Kyle is there. He was my mindset coach, and he is now part of our community. And Karen is there as well. She is a phenomenal career and life coach. Those are resources there at your fingertips. What's inside? One place for everything, all access to course material, and your community in one place. I don't know of another community that has that, not one. This is the first of its kind. You can get help and questions. I was so over Facebook for like the last year and a half. I've been trying to find this source where we can be in our own world and provide like tips and resources and support to one another, like in a real way. Dive into the content right where you are, get help right where you are, tag other team members on the content, access more than just what's happening with, because this is an ongoing journey, right? This entrepreneurship is ongoing. You are going to be doing it forever if you get into this space, if you're in this space. So how do you create a lifestyle, right? A system that doesn't make you feel exhausted or overwhelmed, and it doesn't leave you to figure out content on your own. I never sell a product ever that you don't get access to me directly to be able to get help where you are. And like I said, the network, it's the first of its kind. Inside is the PGC methodology, number one. That's the 12 pillars delivered monthly in very robust bundles. So PDFs, ebooks, videos, replays, live coaching, walkthrough, Q&A monthly, that you can be sure to understand every single concept before you move on to the next part of business building. Coaching calls, video replays, community events. We have so many things planned for our girls virtually and that we've been doing together, this being the launch of that community. And this brand new part, and this is the final part, and probably the part I'm excited about it all, just because I've already seen how amazing it is. Like, not just for me, but the girls coming in, commenting, liking each other's posts, responding to each other, getting to know each other, going through the content. This newest part is the final portion, and it is beyond exciting. The Posh Girls Club lifestyle, because it is a posh life. We help you go through all of the parts of living this life. So how do you create a system? How do you plan? How do you understand what stage or what steps you should be doing next? How do you implement self-care? How do you build real relationships inside of a community? How do you find the tribe that really wants to see you win? How do you learn about all the views of what it looks like going through entrepreneurship, the ups, the downs? How do you recover? Because sometimes people just don't get it. And they're like, yep, told you that wasn't going to work. You need people around you who get what it means to want to build what you want to build, who, even if it's the same thing, it's still not the same thing. I have girls right now who want to build their own version of the Posh Girls Club. I want to help them build that, because you know why? My people are here for me. They're always going to show up here for me. And your people, their people, are going to show up for them. So we'll have all of the lifestyle portion too, how to create a space for losses, how to recover, how to deal with people who don't get your hustle, who just don't understand why you put yourself through it, how to deal in your job right now while you're trying to build your business. I mean, the lifestyle of what it means to be a part of the Posh Girls Club community. That is what the Socialite Society is. That is what I would love to invite you to. And now it's time for Q&A. I will drop the link for it in there. And yeah, if you have questions, let us freaking get to it. Drop your questions now. And yeah, I'll drop the link for the actual Socialite Society. And you actually can come on. Like, I'd rather talk to you than you just like, so feel free to come on. I built this community because the way that I did, because I wanted to be able to talk to my girls and not just like talk at them like I have for so many years, to talk to you and get to know you on a deeper level. Okay, I just dropped the link. And if you want to get into the Socialite Society, that is the link. I know, Charmaine, me too. I can't wait. Okay, so let's see. Thank you, Mia. I'm excited to be back. Yes, I've been like insanely busy over the last couple of months, and and really trying to create this magical space for us to be able to connect has been such an important part of this journey for me. So, yeah, if you ladies, if you have questions, now would be the time to drop them in. And Mia, you said you were clueless about what to post. What what is your product that you're offering? Mm. What is the product that you're offering? And if you want to drop it in, or if you want to say, definitely happy to answer that question for you. Yeah, so
I'm um I'm selling corsets.
course,
Like steel, but like not the regular waist trainers, like the steel bone cassettes, like the real classic ones from like the 1700s or so.
I love it. So are they who's your customer? Like, is it sporty? Is it like sexy, more like lingerie? Like where does it fit?
I'm making an effort to combine wellness and luxury. So it's meant to be like this is like something luxurious that can make you feel sexy, but it's also good for your health too. Because I'm a master's in public health student, so that's kind of like my angle.
Hmm. I love that. So immediately my first thought is, and these are the questions you would ask yourself when you're, because I can say what I think it is, but more importantly, it's what you think it is and what you want it to be. So the questions to ask would be, who is the person that's going to benefit from this product? Benefit one. Also, who is the person that's going to love this product? Why are they going to love it? Where are they going to wear it? Why are they going to love it beyond just because it's pretty or because it fits, because of the fit, because of the styling? Beyond that, I'm talking on an emotional level. How does it make them feel? What did they feel before they tried it? And it's really, Instagram is psychology. It really is. There are all these studies, and I know because I read them all, and but there are all these studies and even documentaries on how Instagram has changed the dynamic of how people see themselves. Like something dysmorphia, it's called, where girls see themselves in a specific way, like Snapchat, for example, because of Snapchat and the filters and all of that, and these damn lights that we use, and all of this to present one way. So your goal is to think about what you're messaging. And this is why everyone doesn't succeed at it. But if you do this, you will succeed at the Instagram game. The messaging is, who is she now? What does she feel before she wears your corset? And how does she feel transformed? And I don't mean like, oh, you'll look better, it snatches your waist. No, I mean, you feel beautiful because you feel transformed, because these powerful words that you are interjecting, that is what sets some brands apart from others. That's why my messaging is so harsh. It's so hardcore, because I only want to talk directly to my person, and nobody else has to get it, but y'all get it. The people who show up get it. The people who show up for the replays get it. The people who comment every single day and message me every single day, they get it, because I'm creating a tribal, and I think I'm going to share this in the socialite too. I have this study on tribal content, tr- creating tribal communities, and it will blow your mind because it's a science. It's not just, oh, what am I going to post today? So when you can answer those questions that I propose to you, then you can do the thing that feels lighter, which is make messaging that people resonate with, that people run to comment on. And I think I put, oh, that's tomorrow's training. So I keep getting them. Tomorrow is primal branding, but um, I hope that answers your question, and we can definitely continue this conversation in the socialite. I know we've been on for an hour and a half, and I'm greatly appreciative of your time. I hope that you got tremendous value from today. This recording and the content will go into the Socialite Society, so you'll be able to catch the replay and ask me any questions. We can reconvene there. But was there anything else? We can wrap at the top of the hour if anyone else has a question. Perfect. We can wrap if anyone else has any, or if anyone else has a question.
I actually do have another question too. So there's another business group that I'm in, and the woman, she believes that we should brand ourselves, because then if we brand ourselves, we're able to branch out and like people will kind of follow you no matter what you do. So like I have like two pages. I have one that's like the brand name, and then I have myself. So which one do you think I should focus on to like build that community?
That is a good question. And this has been an ongoing question. I would tell you, I spend very little time on Pashtori because I want to make sure to say this the right way and be very above the line here. So, the Posh Girls Club is a tribe. I consider myself a part of that tribe, not the influencer. I am the influencer of it, and people will come to follow me. But more than anything, I'm creating a tribe. And so I don't necessarily need to be the center vision. It's more of a community, right? I want everyone to feel valued. And so it depends on what your goal is. Is your goal to sell products? Because if your goal is to sell products, you don't really need to focus on yourself being the influencer. That's just a bonus. That's where, like you see, Pashtori is in the title. And the people that want to follow and that want to know what's going on in my life a little bit more, they follow, even though I don't post very much there. I'm working on that. But I have found that in selling the product, it's more about what you're doing actively in the business itself. And the influencer part, if that's where your focus is, that again is a personal feeding of something versus feeding community, feeding what your customers focus is. That's why you don't see tons of pictures of me on there. I want people to know my presence and how I teach and who I am and who they're going to get, because I'm not going to be anybody else. But I want the focus to be the community, because the community is the brand. So it really depends. Like, are you going to be the one wearing the products and promoting the products, like as the influencer in the business, like Nicole Lionel? She is NL the label, so all over, but then she only has one page. Does that make sense? You see what I mean? Whereas Tori is community, the Posh Girls Club is the focus. Nicole Lionel is a brand, and so she's wearing the product. She's showing herself on the back side. Otherwise, you're creating a lot more work for yourself that you may not need to.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I hope so, because I talk a lot. So good. Okay, well, as always, it is my complete goal to give you value, because I want to see you win. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you take these little nuggets and really create something for yourself that helps you create the life that you want. And that is much easier to do now, because there are all these resources. And I love being able to share what I've experienced and what I've used to grow and build my businesses with my community. So if you do have questions, like I said, if you need me, you can find me on the inside. Thank you, Mia. You can find me on the inside of the Socialized Society. Shoot me a DM if you have any questions. If you're catching this on the replay, again, shoot me a DM if you've got questions. But that's it. You guys keep hustling, babes. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.